Hi, my name is Quaintence, and I went to ANYTOWN in 2014. And ANYTOWN means a lot to me. It's not only sort of given me a lens through which to see the world, but it's also empowered me to make small changes in my life to fix these sort of mounting social justice problems that are in front of us. Um, for instance, whenever I travel, I like to put on the lens of social justice to really understand what problems we have in Greensboro and how those relate to other problems in other cities. Uh, for instance, I go to a lot of other cities and I see this sort of atmosphere of almost segregation. I very rarely see African American people and white people eating next to each other in restaurants. It's just so, there's just so much inequality in here. There's so much sort of socially enforced segregation, and ANYTOWN has sort of given me the lens through which to see that and step back and be like, okay, so here's our problems. How do we fix that? For instance, I was going last year. I went to Spain, and I noticed a lot of, frankly, racism. For instance, I was at a dinner party, and there was this one very sweet Portuguese lady there, but then all the Spaniards would go off into their one corner and make fun of the Portuguese lady just because she was Portuguese. If these two nations on one peninsula can't get along, then how do we expect them to work with other people? Like, how do you expect them to work with Syrian refugees, for example? There's all sorts of problems that I don't really think we acknowledge, because you just think of Spain, you think of Europe, oh, they must be fine, they must be great in terms of social justice. But there's all sorts of entrenched racism that we really don't acknowledge. I think ANYTOWN has given me the lens through which to see that, and it's also given me, it's also empowered me to make these little changes in my life. For instance, if somebody makes a joke that I would find offensive, or that somebody else would find offensive, I can say, "Hey, man, that's not cool." You know, ANYTOWN has sort of given me the lens through which to see all of these little injustices, but also it's empowered me to say something about them. You know, I'm not going to change all of the thousands of little injustices I see in my life, and I'm certainly not going to be able to change the big ones. But I can sure as heck try, and that's what ANYTOWN is for. It gives each and every one of us the opportunity to try and fix these small injustices around us, so maybe we can make an impact on society as a whole.